Hello, everybody, and welcome to Contact. We are back. We got some news in the world of show business. We're going to be talking about Spider-Man: No Way Home. Its box office receipts. It's reached over 50 million, making it one of the best performing comic book movies in a long time, actually. We've also got a little bit of an article on Doctor Who and some news on an actor who recently starred in Doctor Who, Chris Noth. Apparently, he has been accused of sexual assault, so we'll be looking into that as well. So the format is slightly different this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read, I'm not going to go through every single article, like read every single bit of every article, but what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to read the articles. They're in the link description if you want to have a look at them yourselves to get a greater understanding of what we're talking about. And then when I've finished all the articles, then I'll invite some people on, and then whatever article piqued your interest, you can come on and talk about that for a few minutes. We're going to give as many people as we can a chance to voice their opinion. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So let's get straight into it. And we'll start off with the news about Chris. Of course, we must say on the channel, you're innocent until you're proven guilty or otherwise. Remember, that's how things in society work. So let's see. So here we go. Actually, probably the wrong one. There. Okay, there we go. So let's this is from the Hollywood Reporter, but I am informed that the original allegation came from the National Enquirer. Anybody that doesn't know about the National Enquirer, it's basically like the Sun newspaper here in Dublin and also in the UK. So I'm just hoping that this doesn't bloody play in the background. So I'm just waiting for Cheryl and the dog to leave the room before we get started, because Ted has been acting up, so I don't want a screaming dog in the background. So we'll just bear with me for a second. We'll see who's in the chat before we get into this. Right, so we've got Lord Thought in the chat. We got Problem Being. We got PD Rich. We got Renee Silver in the chat. We got Michael in the chat as well. We got Bobby D75 in the chat. We got Garbage in the chat. Also, we got 15 people watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We got Peter D also in the chat. Right, let's get into this. Oswald Biscuits is also in the chat. So let's get into this, because obviously he has recently starred in the Dalek, the two Force Dalek stories. Now, obviously, for Doctor Who fans, the interesting thing will be, is he in the third and final installment? And that's a question that has been asked. Now, remember, as I said, you're innocent until proven guilty, or the evidence suggests that you're a scumbag. But we have to just, right now, we just have to listen to what these women have to say. So, the Hollywood Reporter. So, Chris North has been accused of sexual assault by two women. Triggered recently by Sex and the City reboot, the women alleged two incidents of misconduct they said took place more than a decade apart. Right, but I'm going to say something here first, okay? So they said they were triggered by, and listen, which is probably fair enough, Sex and the City. But hasn't this guy been literally working for the last few years? Why now is the question that I would ask. Were they afraid to come forward in the first place? Do they feel the time is right now because women are being listened to a lot more now? But as I said, we have to obviously listen to what these women have to say, and then obviously then if there's anything in it, there'll be a police investigation. So Zoe, now 40, and Lily, now 31, both alleged they were sexually assaulted by the actor. The two women who approached the Hollywood Reporter separately months apart and who do not know each other said promotions and press reports of HBO Max's Sex and the City sequel series, and Just Like That, in which Chris reprised his role as Mr. Big, stored painful memories of an incident they said occurred in Los Angeles in 2004 and in New York in 2015, respectively. To protect their privacy, the Hollywood Reporter is allowing both women to use pseudonyms. Okay. So Lily herself is now a journalist, reached out to the Hollywood Reporter in August. I'm not sure how to go about this sort of story and how you find the other victims, she wrote in an email. The Hollywood Reporter heard from Zoe in October. She still works in the entertainment industry and is fearful of repercussions if her identity is known. Okay, well then, yeah. Well then I can understand why they kind of kept it to themselves then. It is, of course, Hollywood, and we know that shady stuff happens in Hollywood and is covered up all the time. They contacted Chris, and he sent a statement. The accusations against me made by individuals I met years, even decades ago, are categorically false. These stories could have been from 30 years ago or 30 days ago. No always means no. That's the line I do not cross. The encounters were consensual. It's difficult not to question the timing of these stories coming out. I don't know for certain why they are surfacing now, but I do know this: I did not assault these women. So he's adamant. That he didn't do anything. Now the rest of the article goes on to talk a bit more detail, but we won't go into it because I don't want to be accused of plagiarizing an article, even though, it happens on other channels, but they seem to get away with it. But when I do it, it's a different story altogether. But again, Hollywood, let's be honest, is known to cover up kind of stuff like that. Now, is he in the Dalek trilogy? That's the thing. And how will Doctor Who fans feel if obviously we don't know if any of this is true? He's categorically denying it. He's saying it was consensual. So he's not denying, obviously, that an encounter happened with these women. So again, we will just, the newspapers and Twitter and social media aren't the court of law. So if there's anything in this, and if it's, if the police in America, or the cops in America, think this is worth pursuing, they will. Because, if they could take down men like Harvey Weinstein, I'm sure an actor that's been accused, and then obviously then if it turns out that they're guilty, can be taken down. It's not like it was years ago. But brings us into a bit of a weird segue, because obviously Doctor Who comes back New Year's Day. And we just got a little article here from the Irish Sun. I don't think they have anything decent to write about. So I've had a look at this article. There's nothing really in it of substance. I think they're just trying to find something to write about. But again, new year, new challenges. When is Doctor Who New Year special on BBC? Doctor Who is back for a New Year special just weeks after finishing up for Series 13. The Daleks have returned, and this is the third and final time we'll see Jodie Whittaker take on the role as the Doctor for the New Year special. It's also rumoured as well. The reason why I wanted to bring this article up is because I've heard something now, and I don't know if it's true, but right now the scheduling on BBC America has Doctor Who on 20 minutes or 30 minutes before it's shown in the UK, as it stands now. It's not definite because schedules, remember, we will see. Years ago, or a few years back, you would know what the scheduling was. But with Doctor Who, especially under this production team, they seem to be very coy on what time it's going to be on at. If you're asking me, I think it's going to probably be on between 6:25 and 7 p.m. That would be the norm, or it could be even earlier. We don't know. So what did they say? When is Doctor Who New Year special on TV? The Doctor Who Eve of the Daleks airs on BBC One and BBC iPlayer on the 1st of January 2022. The episode is available on BBC iPlayer Live, and then it will be available to watch and catch up. The Doctor Who special serves as part of BBC's festive TV lineup for the Christmas season. But again, as I said, this article is there you go. So it doesn't actually give a time. So this article, as I said, was a waste of time. But for anybody that doesn't know who the guest stars are, we've got Aisling Bea as Sarah. We've got Anjani Salmon as Nick. We got Pauline Millin, I can never say her name, in a mysterious role, apparently, Father Ted. And of course, we have the Daleks making an explosive comeback. I'd hardly say it's an explosive comeback now, to be quite honest with you. I think we're all kind of Daleked out now at this stage, to be quite honest. But again, nothing there of substance, but we do talk Doctor Who on the channel, and as I said, there is a rumor that it might actually be shown before it's shown in the UK, which I think is a bad move, to be honest, if that does turn out to be true, because it's a British show. It should be shown in Britain first. I'm sorry, or it should be shown simultaneously around the world if you want to do that. But I don't think any, well, under RTD, I would say, no fans should miss out or have spoilers before other fans. But I suppose with the Chris Chibnall there, who really gives a crap. But still, it's not the right thing to do, in my opinion. Right, I want to talk about obviously this. I've got a few articles. Obviously, if people have gone into the link descriptions, you know what I'm already going to be talking about. But as I said, not going through everything. Like, I'm going to try get you on as much, because if I sat there and read all the articles, sure, we'd be here for over an hour and a half before anybody gets on. So I just wanted to breeze through it. But as I said, if you just want to read the articles while I'm doing what I'm doing here, they're in the link description. I'll put all the articles in the link description. So go and check it out. If you want to know what we're talking about, go into the link description, check out the articles, and then if you want to come on and give your 2 cents, you can come on and give your 2 cents. Right, let's go to the next one. I'm very excited for this. So, Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, after it became a bit of a hit, it actually came out at the same time, if I remember, or a couple of days apart from Birds of Prey. And if I remember correctly, there was a lot of Birds of Prey fans, or these leftist twats, that were going on, oh, I went in to see 5 minutes of Sonic the Hedgehog. You shouldn't go and watch it. Go and watch Birds of Prey instead. But it backfired. Birds of Prey flopped. Sonic the Hedgehog actually did very well. And now the long-awaited sequel has a trailer. Now, obviously, I won't be able to play the trailer, but I had a look at the trailer, and I have to say, folks, I'm pretty excited. Knuckles is going to be in it. And Tails. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 first look trailer is here to knock the rings out of you. And there's a promo image now. As you can see, Jim Carrey now looks a bit more like Eggman in this one. And we got Sonic, and obviously, you know, everybody was happy with the design of the all blue hedgehog, and so was I. In fairness, now I have looked at the comparison, and I have to be honest. At the time when the first design of Sonic came out, I wasn't as mad as everybody else was. But when I seen this design, and then you seen them side by side, I could understand fully. It was freaky looking. So there's the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. 2, if you want to check it out there. And there's Tails. Tails looks great. And then we get to see Knuckles in the trailer as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm being honest, it was a bit of a surprise because, you know, I didn't think that the movie would be good in the first place. I had me hopes, but they never get these movies right. But I think they did for the first one. So the second one is going to be dropping soon, and I can't wait to see it. When is it out? Hold on. The article should say, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 hits theaters on April 8th, 2022. So that'll fly in. But I can't wait. I really can't. I'm really, really excited about that, I have to say. So we've got 2 more articles to look at. So where will I start? Right, we'll go with the next one in line. So I'm not going to speak spoilers here, because obviously there are still some people out there that haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife. There's someone in the chat there trolling away. If you could remove them, please, that'll be absolutely fantastic. So, as you know, I've watched Ghostbusters Afterlife, and as I said to people, I thought it was an absolutely fantastic movie. But in saying that, some of the critics have been very, very, very salty. And have criticised it for fan service and stuff like that. Now, if I'm correct in saying, Right. So I came across this negative review and I wanted to read it out and point out why this guy shouldn't be listened to. So, we got Ghostbusters Afterlife, and as you can see there, they give it 1 pathetic star. Right? By the way, fun fact, Ghostbusters Afterlife has a female lead, but apparently the critics have been saying that the reason why the Ghostbusters 2016 version failed was because we were all misogynistic, sexist pigs. But that makes no sense because Ghostbusters Afterlife has actually done very well, and a lot of fans have been praising it. So the sexist, misogynistic pig argument doesn't hold up. So behold the craven exercise in hollow nostalgia that is Ghostbusters Afterlife. A direct quote. In taking over the Ghostbusters mantle from his father, Ivan, director Jason Reitman trots out all the character, props, gags, and famous lines from the 1984 original as if there were a mere presence of them was enough for a laugh, or at least a familiar chuckle. His movie wallows in superficial trappings of a franchise without ever recapturing or seemingly grasping what made it such a phenomenon in the first place. It's essentially a 2-hour version of that meme in which Chris Evans as Captain America in The Avengers says earnestly and with more than a little pride, I understood that reference. This sort of sequel and sort of reboot, but it's definitely an erasure of the 2016, and there we go, folks. And that's why we get this quote at the start, folks, right? This has nothing got to do with the fact that this movie is good, right? It's got to do with the fact that this journalist here is salty about the 2016 version being rejected. So let's read what he has to say here. This sort of sequel and sort of reboot, but it's definitely an erasure of the 2016 Ghostbusters starring Melissa McCarthy, Kirsten Wiig, Kate McKinnon, and Leslie Jones, which caused such a stir because it dared to feature women busting ghosts. Well, the new one has a woman, a girl, busting ghosts, and you don't hear us. That's men's work. See, this is why you can't listen to this journalist, right? I'm not even going to read the rest because why should I give this journalist any more airtime? But if anybody, but that's the reason. And the reason why I wanted to kind of bring this up is because if you still haven't seen Ghostbusters Afterlife, my advice is that if you're a Ghostbusters fan, it's definitely a movie you should watch. Okay? Now, this is why this movie is hated by the mainstream critics out there. Is because the 2016 version flopped so hard, they just cannot accept that when a Ghostbusters movie is done actually right and there is no agenda, that the movie can be a success. Now, this movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife, by the way, and these journalists actually seem to forget this, has a young female lead in it. Do you hear me giving out about the young female lead? When I spoke about it, Mackenzie Grace is not her name. I was full of praise. I said she literally holds this movie on her own. She's brilliant. She's absolutely, her character is just so heartwarming. You know, if you were ever bullied as a kid or felt like a bit of an outsider, this kid would seriously, You could see yourself in this kid. That's why she was so appealing. This is why she held the movie together, because people could understand her character and could actually identify with some of the parts of her character that related to them. There's nobody has a problem with female-led movies. The problem is that you haven't decided just to do them that way. You had to stick an agenda in. There is no agenda in Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's a beautiful movie if you haven't seen it. But I wanted to bring that up because this is where we are, folks, right, with these mainstream critics. You cannot listen to mainstream critics. Seriously, man, you know on YouTube who use all trust, right, when it comes to critiquing movies and giving an honest view on movies. That's who I'd say listen to. Don't be listening to any of these mainstream salty pieces of crap, journalists, hacks, whatever you want to call them. They aren't journalists, right? They all have a little agenda, and because it's not going their way recently with certain movies that have come out now, they're seeing that it's all falling apart, right? They don't want good movies like Ghostbusters Afterlife, right? Because it shows the poor reflection of the 2016 version. This was a female-led movie done absolutely properly, but didn't alienate its male audience and didn't alienate young girls out there, right? Young girls watching Ghostbusters Afterlife now have a young girl to look up to, a proper role model, right? No agenda behind her, no nothing. Just a proper, wholesome girl that every young girl can look up to, and young boys as well can look up to and say, I want to be her. Right? The 2016 version didn't do that. What they decided to do was take the piss out of the franchise, make sick female jokes, right? And make every male character in the movie a blundering idiot, right? And then let's not talk about the disrespectful cameos. The only one that was actually decent, the only two that were the only one that was decent to me was the Dan Aykroyd one in the taxi, right? That was the only decent one. But Bill Murray's character being thrown out a window, right? That was him not giving a crap. It was so disrespectful. So, you know, all of these arguments by these journalists that it was sexism that fueled the financial ruin of Ghostbusters 2016. That argument has gone out the window now with Afterlife, because the audience have proved that it doesn't matter if the lead is a young girl or a young woman, right? If you make a Ghostbusters movie that pays homage to the old movies that came before, adds something new to it, and doesn't disrespect the movies that came before, you will get an audience, right? You will get an audience. And this is why these journalists are so salty, because they've been spinning this propaganda, right, in their newspaper columns and their online columns for years now. And all their arguments now are actually, you know, they were always weak arguments. We knew that, but they're all falling apart. All of these arguments. It's the same in the Doctor Who fandom when they say it was sexism that drove the ratings down, that's why Doctor Who isn't a success, right? It's nothing got to do with that. Again, you give us a decent female character, strong female character that isn't alienating our audience. The people will watch, and they've proven it with Ghostbusters Afterlife. Right. Let's end on a bit of a positive. So, as you all know, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan myself. Yeah, shock horror. I'm not a huge fan of Spider-Man anyway. But this is worth bringing up because Variety and other outlets are reporting box office. Spider-Man No Way Home shatters records with huge 50 million in previews. So in its first weekend, I think it's made 50 million. Now, if I'm correct in saying the numbers for Black Widow, I think we're 13 million. So that just goes to show you how well Spider-Man No Way Home is actually doing. So Spider-Man No Way Home blew the doors off the box office, earning a massive 50 million in Thursday previews. The Sony Pictures release is on pace to pull in between 150 to 180 million over its opening weekend, setting a new high watermark for blockbusters during the COVID era. Even rising cases of the virus and the emergence of the new troubling variants seem unlikely to stall Spider-Man. That could change, of course, as the weekend progresses. We can't mention it, is currently leading to the closure of restaurants and live theatre in major cities such as New York City, even though it has very mild symptoms. I think we've actually lost the plot as a society and as a world, seriously. If projections hold, and really, why would they not? Spider-Man No Way Home will be the first pandemic-era movie to cross the 100 million in a single weekend. Only one other film, Sony's comic book sequel, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, has come close to hitting that benchmark with initial revenues at still an impressive 90 million domestically. So, Spider-Man No Way Home is doing well. The result is the third highest preview gross of all time, tripling that of Spider-Man Homecoming, the highest grossing Spider-Man film in terms of preview at 15.4 million. Avengers Endgame holds the record for preview results with 60 million, ultimately earning 357 million in its initial weekend. Wow. So again, I've heard some good things, spoiler free, and everybody seems to be very positive. A lot of people have said it's a fun movie as well. It's not perfect, but apparently, again, it's another movie where there doesn't seem to be any agenda and it's just a straight out comic book movie. So, is Hollywood actually coming around? Because also, I've seen a review for The Matrix Resurrections, and someone says it's awful. It wasn't woke at all. It was blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of thinking, well, that to me means then it's actually a great movie. So is Hollywood finally, slowly but surely, turning the corner? I don't know. We will have to see. The next few movies, in my opinion, will tell us if Hollywood is finally getting it. Remember, all they need to do is entertain us, give us something interesting and fun, and the customer, we as the customer, will go and watch. We got Nicholas Horton with a £5 super chat, and he says Ghostbusters Afterlife is also a respectful memory to the late Harold Ramis. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say no more on that because there are still some people that mightn't have seen the movie, but I absolutely 100% agree with you there. So, some good news on the movie front anyway. We throw in Sonic the Hedgehog there as well, and the Joker movie. It does seem that some studios are kind of copping on a little bit. They still might take them time, because some of these film studios will still roll out the same propaganda shit. But if we get a lot more of these movies that are actually fun movies and are enjoyable, well then, you know what, let them roll out their shit crap movies. We just won't watch them. I just want more decent movies to be made, because they've been oversaturated with all these diabolical movies that we have been getting. There's a couple of movies that I'm looking forward to next year myself, personally, so we'll see. But I will give this Spider-Man movie a go. As I said, not a huge Spider-Man fan. Um, you know, I did like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, but that kind of left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth when they kind of axed him. I know I like Tom Holland. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good Spider-Man, but I still haven't gotten over the way they treated Garfield. In fairness, 'cause there was supposed to be an Amazing Spider-Man 3, and it sounded decent from what I've heard. So I'm a bit salty about that, but I'll give this one a go. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Avatar movies, so I don't. They kind of. I've no interest in James Cameron and Avatar. Didn't at the time. Pointless having a sequel after all these years, to be quite honest with you. Nobody actually asked for a sequel, so I don't know why he's doing it. But again, Ridley Scott did this with the Alien franchise. You know, he came back to the Alien franchise. Now James Cameron is coming back to the Avatar franchise now, and he's going to extend it. It's never a good idea. It's never a good idea at all, to do that. Because if you look what Ridley Scott did to the Alien franchise, he literally destroyed it. That was supposed to get sequels and prequels galore, and because the movies that he didn't actually succeed in doing what they were supposed to, had the opposite effect. You know, we mightn't even get an Alien franchise. Now there's a TV show apparently. Is it an Alien franchise TV show, or is it the Predator? I don't know, some TV show, but apparently it's going to deal with today's politics and all of this shit. Like, what's that got to do with xenomorphs? I don't know. But there you go. But that's everything, folks. That's everything that I wanted to bring up tonight. So they're the topics of conversation, and I'm going to be very strict on this. I want us to stick to the topics of conversation. That's why I seeked out these articles for us to do. So as I said, if you've been listening to what I've had to say, and I've given a few opinions myself, if you have checked out those articles and you would like to come on, please let me know now in the chat. And I will send you an email. So let me know if you want to come on. If not, you know what happens. If nobody comes on, it's a short show, and that's the way it goes. But this is the first contact back in ages, so I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that people would like to say about some of these topics that I've brought up. So remember, we've got the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 trailer. If anybody's seen that, want to talk about that. We got the Doctor Who New Year special. We got that review of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and why do you believe that the journalists are so salty about it? And then if anybody wants to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, about how well it's done, of course we won't talk about any potential spoilers. I haven't seen the movie yet myself. So, and also we got that Chris article there as well. So they're the topics. If you want to come on, let me know. And I still don't see anybody in the chat. So we'll give it a few more minutes. But as I said, they're the things that we have spoken about. And listen, don't come on just for the sake of coming on. I know some people have done that before, but it's grand. If none of these articles appeal to you, there's no point in coming on. I want people coming on that are actually, want to talk about these things as well. So if nobody wants to come on, that's fine. That's great. I've given my opinions anyway. But yeah, I can't wait for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I was going to talk about Cobra Kai tonight, but I'm not. because I'm going to watch Series 3 now. Because Series 4, as you know, drops at the end of the year. So I want to get that in. I will bring that up next week when I'm caught up. And then obviously I already saw the Series 4 trailer. That's what made me go back and binge watch this series, because the trailer looked epic. But I'll watch the trailer again. And then we will talk about Cobra Kai and some other new shows that have recently come out next week. The Witcher season 2 dropped today on Netflix. Yeah, I haven't watched that yet. I tried to watch the first episode with Cheryl, but it wasn't her type of thing. So I knocked it off and we watched something else, and I never went back to it. So I have to watch The Witcher. I also have to watch Superman and Lois as well. Again, I got 20 minutes into the first episode of that, and then I got distracted and I never went back to it. So I have to watch that as well. Anyone watching The Expanse says Disaster Area, another show that I haven't actually watched either. There's lots of shows, but I have to do Cobra Kai first. Then I have to do Squid Games, because I promised I would watch it. And stuff like that. So I have loads on my to-do list. So I'll get most of them done over the Christmas period. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple of things, as I said. I can't obviously the Batman comes out next year as well. It's another thing that I'm actually looking forward to. Personally, I know a lot of people are shitting on it because they've only seen 2 trailers, but that's the modern fandom that we're in now. No, you can't please everybody. But again, I hope this movie proves a lot of people wrong, because there's been a lot of negativity towards this movie because it's Robert Pattinson playing the Batman. As I said, and I'll make the comparison. When Heath Ledger took the role of the Joker, everybody was kicking up stink. It was the same when Affleck became Batman. Everybody was kicking up stink. And let's be honest, both of those guys proved us wrong. I'd love to see another Ben Affleck Batman movie, I have to be honest. I didn't quite see him as Batman myself at first, I have to be honest about it, but I did make the point when he was cast. Remember, we all had the same reaction under Heath Ledger when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker, and look what happened there. So, yeah, loads. Oh yeah, might as well just bring it up anyway. As you know, I don't really do Star Wars rumors, but there is a rumor that Han Solo apparently is coming back to Star Wars in the Boba Fett show. Like they did the Mark Hamill Luke Skywalker cameo very well, I thought. It gave Star Wars fans, especially OG Star Wars fans, it really well, you could see the reaction videos. A lot of fans were super excited, couldn't believe it was happening, and actually broke down, a lot of them, because of what happened Luke in the movies, and this was nice. Look, all I'll say about Star Wars rumors is this, I at this stage I wouldn't be listening to any of them. You're better off waiting until all these shows come out. There's too much misinformation, especially with Star Wars over the last few years. And so when I see a Star Wars rumor, and especially if it originates from certain YouTubers out there, I don't take any notice of it until I see something legit. because proven time and time again. If we were to listen to rumors, Kathleen Kennedy is gone the last 3 years now. So when it comes to Star Wars rumors, as I said, I take them with a pinch of salt. But I'll bring it up because it was mentioned, and I've seen it being mentioned out there, and there's a lot of YouTubers talking about it. I mean, even if it was to happen, I'm pretty sure that the YouTubers are talking about it will have something to complain about Harrison Ford's cameo. They're never happy now. I mean, The Mandalorian was a good show, and I don't care what anybody says. The Mandalorian was a good show, right? But I mean, when you had people not being able to criticize the story, but they were criticizing Baby Yoda committing genocide because they ate a few unfertilized eggs or fertilized egg or whatever, right? And then you had the likes of Kevin Smith. How am I going to explain this to me daughter? Get a grip, right? Yeah, and again, because he was a fan, wasn't he a fan of the sequel trilogy? So The Mandalorian came about because Star Wars fans were disenfranchised, or what's the word now? They disinterested. They were disinterested in Star Wars, especially after the Last Jedi, right? So The Mandalorian was Disney's way of trying to, I wouldn't say make it up to the fans, but give them something. And The Mandalorian came about because of the fandom in it. So of course it's going to get hated. But the thing about it is, even people within that fandom just couldn't praise it. They had to find fault with it somewhere. I liked it, and I'm not a Star Wars fan, as you all know. But I have watched the movies. I've watched every single bloody movie. And I'll be watching all these TV shows as well. But I watched The Mandalorian, and I have to say, The Mandalorian was making me a fan of Star Wars, I have to say. So for me, The Mandalorian was the gateway. So, people could criticize it all at once, all they want. It made me more interested in Star Wars and wanting me to go and find out more about the extended universe and stuff like that. So again, I suppose it's whatever floats your boat. But all I'm just trying to say is, no matter what you give fans nowadays, I don't know. I think it'll be the same in the Doctor Who fandom as well. If RTD gives us great Doctor Who, there'll still be some in the fandom that will complain and won't be happy about it. PD Rich says you can't explain Spirit or He-Man to your daughter. Yeah, it's actually quite sad. It's actually quite sad. Well, I know we're over there. I know it's coming up to the Christmas period, so maybe it was. I was gonna bring this contact back next year, but I decided to bring it back a couple of weeks early because there will be stuff to talk about over the Christmas. There's always a lot of releases and stuff like that. So we'll keep going anyway. Classic anime like Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Ghost in the Shell. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of anime, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, shocker. I mean, I've never really sat down and gave it a proper watch. But I think I'm a bit old in the teeth now to be trying to get into anime right now. To be quite honest with you, as I said, there are plenty of other TV shows and movies coming out that pique me interest. So I'll be keeping an eye on them. But I have to say, I've never been really one for anime. It's the same with comic books. I never got into comic book. Well, we couldn't afford comic books, I suppose. But that was one thing I never got into. I kind of do regret that one. Not getting into comic books because I like a good read, you know. It's all right, lads. It's all good. I don't mind talking here for a while. You know me, Lee. I can talk to Save Ireland. It's no big deal. I know it's not. I know it's coming up to Christmas and all. But look, I just wanted to talk about those things myself anyway and give me opinions. Because, you know, but this will be the format from now on. What'll happen is I'll during the week now, I'll be keeping an eye on the news media, the entertainment, I should say, and any articles that pique me interest, I will be highlighting. Also, actually, if you guys want to help as well in some little way, if there are any news articles out there, obviously connected to the entertainment industry that you would like me to bring up and talk about, you guys can also influence what I actually put out. So if there are any articles, so during the week, if there's any articles, some of you follow me on Messenger, some of you follow me on Twitter. Also, if after this stream, why am I stuttering quite a lot? Man, that's mad. Anyway, if there's any articles that you would like me to read as well, pop into the comment section after this stream goes up. Leave a link to an article. Now, obviously, if it's a link, it'll be held for review, but I'll go into the held for review. And there's an article there that I think is that you've provided or put forward. And if it's newsworthy, we'll read it out. Demon Slayer is also a very popular anime. Again, Nicholas never really got into anime. If you haven't watched or listened to Doctor Who Classic Missing Episodes, have you read them? If you haven't watched or listened, no, I've watched all the telly snaps and all of that. But I haven't read them, no. I used to be a very big reader, but I've gotten lazy, especially over this, as I like to call it, the pandemic era. I just haven't been able to concentrate. Like I have Roy Keane's autobiography there, the second one. I've got Alex Ferguson's book as well. I've also got Dan Brown, a couple of Dan Brown books because I'm a huge Dan Brown fan. I've got Christopher Eccleston's book as well. And I've got a few other books as well there on UFOs and stuff like conspiracies and stuff like that. I have a lot of books, but I just haven't been able to sit down and concentrate long enough to even read them, especially even the UFO ones. I don't know what it is. It's just my concentration just hasn't been the same, I have to say. You know, so it was nice to actually sit down today because all day I was searching for articles and stuff that I could actually bring up, and I actually enjoyed that because I had focus, you know, and I was able to, you know, sit there, read the articles without any stress, and you know, it was yeah. I don't know what it is. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not the only one. I think there's a couple of people out there as well that are like me. It's just, you know, like there's nothing to do, but at the same time, you're just finding something to do. But then, yeah, you know, that's why in this house, like I do the washing, I do the dinner, you know, I clean the house up. It's just to give me something to bloody do, you know. And even then, I'll start something in the house, and then I'll get distracted and do something else, and then come back to what I originally started. I don't know what it is, man. Betty White's 100th anniversary celebration is heading to the big screen. Yeah, Jesus, man, Betty White, what a legend. 100 years of age. Wrap her up in cotton wool, and don't let her out the outside world. That's what I say. I've got a lot of classic Doctor Who novels. Saved them from being thrown away 20 years ago in the rubbish and still got them, says Nicholas. That's absolutely fantastic. Don't worry, buddy. I'm feeling it as well. Yeah, I think everybody is just going through a lot of crap, aren't they? You know, we got the crap in our personal lives, and then we got governments crapping on us, and then people on social media crapping on us, and you know, it does take its toll. It does take its toll. But you know what? You know what? You know, you should always tell yourself this. It could be worse. I don't know how it could be worse, but it could be worse. Just say that to yourself and pretend, like we always do. You know, our generation and the generation before us, we know how to handle situations like this. We know how to handle situations because we've been through all this before. Remember, you know, we've had hardships before. This isn't hardship, by the way. A disaster area just bringing us all back to remind us that at least Jodie is leaving. Yeah, and that look, I don't want to get bogged down in Doctor Who because yeah, we will feature some Doctor Who on it, but the Doctor Who segment on this will be very, very tiny compared to if we do a Tardis Zone talks. But yeah, look, I'm going to say this in defense of her, but just slightly in defense of her. All the mistakes of this era are not all down to her. Yeah, she has made some personal mistakes herself, and I don't think that she was the right actress for the job. But she shouldn't have been put in that situation in the first place. Because think about it, if all you guys in the chat, if I said to you, right, imagine I was Piers Wenger or I held the IP for Doctor Who, and I went and I said to one of you guys, I go, right, you could be the next Doctor. You're not going to turn down the role. I don't care what you say. You can say in the chat and be all say, oh, I will turn it down because I know I'm not good enough for it. No. If you were offered that Doctor Who role, you would snap it up, right? It's a British icon. It's a British institution. It used to mean something, right? You would take on that role. So I don't blame her for that. But what I do blame her for is not doing the research. She shouldn't have listened to Chris Chibnall. Yes, she did it when it was too late. And our fans keep bringing her up. Well, she did do it. Yeah, but she should have done it from day one, right? So, you know, look, you could try and convince yourself that she's the best and she gave it her all. She probably did give it her all, but her all wasn't good enough. And that's the bottom line. And I'm going to leave it there. But the true Doctor Who says she's abandoning a sunken ship. Well, they're all jumping now, aren't they? She didn't improve, so I doubt it. That's a fair point about the employer of Jodie having some responsibility. Exactly. Look, she does have to bear some of the responsibility. Nobody's denying that. But at the end of the day, if your friend and boss, our future boss, comes to you and says, "Listen, I would like you to play the 13th Doctor," right? As an actress, she's not going to turn that down. So I don't blame her for that. But what I do blame her for is not doing the necessary research that made her properly prepared for it. The fact that she did it after the fact when she was already failing is unforgivable. If they offered me the role, I would take a first ginger doctor. Exactly, Tim. Exactly. Nobody can deny it. Listen, I'm not even an actor and they asked me to play the doctor. I'd play the doctor. It's a role of a lifetime. But I would do the research and I'd give it my best shot. It still probably wouldn't be good enough, which I can admit. But it's at least I did all the things, I said all the right things and didn't alienate the fandom. Exactly, Chris. She couldn't have given it all if she never truly understood the character. Unless she does her research, she would never be able to give it her all. She was lazy and it showed. It was just a day job for her. And that's the way I look at it. She saw her as a step up the ladder. A Doctor Who was a vehicle to enhance her career, but it's probably made it worse now. And that's the reality of the situation. So yeah, right. But I'm gonna leave it there with the Doctor Who talk anyway, because we do talk plenty of Doctor Who on this channel. But yeah, very very interesting news on the Chris situation. It's hard to tell, because especially if it's a historical case, it's their word against his word. And of course, he's denying it, but he's not denying that there was something there, and he said it was consensual. So as I said, when it comes to that situation, if any of these women have gone to the police and the police actually think there's a case, well then obviously then there'll be more to this story, but we'll keep you informed. But the interesting thing from a Doctor Who point of view is he's been in the first two Dalek stories. Is he going to feature in the last one? It wouldn't make any sense if he didn't show up, to be quite honest. So I think he actually might show up. That will certainly play very interestingly with the other side of the fandom, because you know what they're like. Even an accusation to them means you're guilty. So if he was indeed the feature in Eve of the Daleks, that might actually discourage a lot of people, and it's only at the popping into my head right now. If you look at the other side, most of the other side already that have been reporting on this have already made up their mind. As I said, the jury, judge, and executioner on Twitter, right? So if Chris is indeed in Eve of the Daleks, well, I think the ratings are going to take a hit, because some of that side already believe that he's guilty, even though, there is a due process. I mean, look at how they acted with the John Barrowman stuff, even though that was years ago. Right? I will actually say, though, the Noel Clarke situation is very interesting, because they're being almost silent on that one. But they're not silent on... It's actually funny, isn't it, though? That the Chris allegations have came to light. And again, as I said, innocent until proven guilty. But it's very interesting that they're giving their 2 cents about that. But not many people have said much about the Noel Clarke situation. And we still haven't heard any more about that either. Very interesting, though, But if he is in Eve of the Daleks, I do believe it's going to take an even bigger hit on the ratings. So that'll be interesting. We'll have to see, because they haven't, as far as I know, I don't think they've mentioned his name in any of the promotional stuff and who the guest actors are. So they're probably not mentioning his name to kind of like, he's there, but they don't give him too much, say that he's part of the cast. I don't know, man. I don't know. But if he is in it, I'm telling you now, it's going to take a ratings hit. It is, because a lot of these fans, they won't watch because they've already made up their mind. That's the thing. Whereas I'm more, well, let's see where the evidence goes. Let's see if these women actually have a case. And if they do, they'll go through the due process, which is the court of law. You know, the police will investigate. If there's anything in it, then there'll be court. You know, so due process. Very interesting, very interesting. I will keep you up to date on that. Obviously, if I hear any more information on Eve of the Daleks about the cast, and if he is indeed in the cast, then I will let you know. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. But yeah, that just popped into me head. That just popped into me head. And it could well indeed take a ratings hit. Interesting. But look, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. I know it's a Friday night. There are other streams that are going to be on soon anyway, as well. And I know as we're getting closer to Christmas now, there's going to be a lot of tired people out there as well. So I will see is obviously over the Christmas period. I might, now that I have a camera, I haven't decided yet, but I did say if I got a camera that I might consider prepping the Christmas dinner. I might throw it up on the other channel though, and do Christmas prep dinner, show you what I'm going to do for Christmas dinner over the Christmas. We'll see. But I will be on over the Christmas. We'll do we'll do some Christmas special watch-alongs, proper Christmas special watch-alongs. Are you doing a Christmas stream? Well, it depends, right? Because by right, I should be spending Christmas with the wife. But what normally happens on Christmas Day is I get up, she gets up. We sit down, we have a bit of a chat while I'm prepping dinner, have a couple of drinks. Then by the time we have our dinner, we're pretty tuckered out by then. And she normally goes into the room then and then kind of falls asleep. So if she does do that again this year and I feel up to it, what I might do is Christmas night, we might do a couple of Christmas specials of the New Who era. And what I'll do is actually next week, and someone remind me, but I'll remember this anyway, but just in case. But next week I'm going to put a poll up in the community section of my YouTube channel, and I'll give you a list of Christmas specials, and what the first two that get the highest rated marks, the most votes, I should say, will be the two Christmas specials that we'll actually do. Or we might do three, I don't know, right? Maybe two or three. I will let you know for definite. But what I'll do is I'll put a poll up on YouTube, the community section. That way, then it's accessible to everybody, and then I'll just post that link to that section on Twitter. So I don't do a separate Twitter poll, and everybody then can go and vote for the Christmas specials that I throw up. And then maybe the first two, or definitely the first two, but maybe the top three that get the most votes will do a 3-hour extravaganza watch along, and we'll do some of the festive specials. I always get up late on Christmas Day anyway. No, I get up, listen, even though my sleep pattern does be all over the place, I do kind of try to go to bed early on Christmas Eve, so I can get up early. And because I do I do all of the prep actually Christmas morning. I'm a bit of a lots of people will get their Christmas prep done over the next couple of days leading up to Christmas. But I actually like to get everything done Christmas morning, believe it or not. So I do all my prep and me cooking Christmas. So it does be, I don't know how I do it, but I do. I managed to pull off a lovely Christmas dinner last year. Um, all the elements came together at the right time. I timed it well, I have to say. But we're not having a big, huge Christmas dinner this year. It's not going to be anything too fancy. We're going to have the turkey, obviously, the ham, bit of stuffing as you do, roasters and a couple of veg. I'm not doing anything big and major. So yeah, that's the plan, and maybe. Oh yeah, and while I'm prepping Christmas dinner, I'll be drinking as well. So by the time I get to dinner, I'll probably be already a bit tipsy. So that'll be fun. So the Christmas stream will definitely be fun. Dad does cooking in our house. We have our Christmas dinner late afternoon. Yeah, same with my dad. He's the cook in the house, but I've been obviously since I've been married to Cheryl. We had the first Christmas over my mum's, but then the last Christmas, and I think the Christmas before, was it the Christmas before that? I don't know if this is our second Christmas doing it together. I don't know if it's our second and third Christmas doing it together, but you know, it's nice with just me, Ted, and Cheryl, I have to say. Because we all the hassle of getting a taxi and all of that, and with the situation that we're in now with the pandemic, we can't really go over to me parents right now. So yeah, so I don't mind, that we still have a good Christmas. It does be quiet. Ignore that comment in the chat there. Don't think that is Melina. I'm just gonna double check. I don't think that is Melina. It's not Melina. You've been fooled. It's got 0 subscribers. Remove that person. Thank you. All it takes is a little quick second check. The channel has no subscribers. Melina has subscribers, so it's not her. And I wouldn't have, and by the way, I don't remove me moderators without letting them know first anyway. So I think when I first started to have moderators, there were a few that were obviously removed because they're no longer with the channel anymore. But everybody else that I've added doesn't get removed unless they've done anything, and they haven't. So, but again, and this is how I know the trolls are here, because the views have shot up all of a sudden. But isn't it quite sad in the festive holiday period where people are supposed to give joy and be kind to each other? We still have nasty pieces of crap in the fandom that just don't take a break, not even for Christmas. That's the thing. See, I wouldn't even mind like if they took a bit of a break off from their harassment and their bullying and their abusive behavior, right? But they don't. It's all year. It's all year round, and we know who it is. We know who it is. The problem is the little twat. Right now can get away with it, but next year when those new internet laws kick in, people like him will be a spent force. They won't be able to do what they do because as soon as they're reported, it'll be taken seriously. Just one more piece of the evidence in favor of Noel that those fans aren't nasty. Listen, it doesn't bring me joy to say that I'm right about certain members of certain people in the fandom. The Doctor Who fandom shouldn't even be like this, right? But let's remember how it all stemmed and came about. As soon as Jodie Whittaker was announced, the media came out and proclaimed that any fan that had a problem with Jodie Whittaker's casting was sexist, toxic, and all of this. Kids like that troll that has been in there have picked up on what the media have said, and they've drummed it into their head for the last few years. So, can't really necessarily blame them because they're dumb as trucks, dumb as planks of wood. It's not their fault. They're being fed all of this rubbish, right? They're being fed all of this rubbish. And unfortunately, there's a lot like him. But they will be put in their place pretty soon enough because, Britain and the EU are coming down hard on internet trolls now because it is a problem. It's affected mental health out there. We've even seen some people, obviously not connected to us, but we've read the horror stories of people taking their own lives because of online trolling and the abuses that they've received. And it's about time that the people that are in power, the lawmakers, get off and the people that are running these social media apps take responsibility for what's going on their platforms, and they need to be dealt with swiftly. And what you do is as well, right? What you do is as well is that anybody that trolls like that little twat that's trolling now, right? What you do is you get their IP address and you ban it. That prevents them then from setting up any more accounts, right? You ban the IP address. Now, I know people will talk about VPNs. That's a different situation that will have to be sorted out as well, because they can use them to go anonymous and all of this rubbish. That needs to be put a stop to as well. It's absolutely ridiculous. It needs to stop. It's going on too long now. But yeah, if there's some of yous I don't see over the Christmas because yous are busy anyway, I just want to wish yous the best for the holiday season. Enjoy it. But most of all, stay safe as well. Because we're living in a bit of a crazy fucking world right now. So just be careful when you are out and about and stuff like that, and don't do anything too silly. Just enjoy our Christmas and enjoy being with your family or your friends or whoever you're going to spend Christmas with, neighbors, whatever it is, and just enjoy it because it's not going to get any better next year. Look, you always see those posts. Well, 2021 is gone. Let's hope 2022 is going to be a fantastic year. The reality of the situation is that 2022 is probably just going to be as bad as 2021. We need to stop kidding ourselves that it's going to get better, right? Right now, it's probably not going to get better yet. But it will eventually. That's the thing. It will. Society and all of this other people will finally cop on, trust me. So yeah. So just enjoy it and happy Christmas or Merry Christmas, or I think Merry is banned now, isn't it? Or is it happy? I don't know, but it used to be banned. But I say Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody. And we will see us over the Christmas period. Don't worry, we'll try to do some fun stuff over the Christmas. Well, we have to watch alongs as well, but we'll try break it up and do something fun over the Christmas period. I might try organize and see if I can get it together. It's just getting it together. Try get together, maybe do a quiz or something for a laugh to end the year on. The New Year's Eve quiz, where we ask questions about what happened in 2021. But look, at the end of the day, look, even though I have said 2022 and 2022 probably be worse, at the end of the day, though, it's what you make of it yourself, So if you want your 2021 to be better than 2022, then it's up to yourself to make it better than 2022. And that's the attitude I've always had anyway. I know the last few years have been shitty, but I've tried to make the best of it. And considering all the shit that's gone on this year and all the abuse that I've had to put up with and all the other nonsense that's going on, I've actually had a pretty decent 2021. So compared to other years, it's been a good year for me personally. So it's what you make of it yourself, It's not Mary that's problematic. It's Christmas itself that, oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, Santa Claus has now got a boyfriend, so, like, there you go. But that's another conversation for another day. Mrs. Claus is not going to be too happy, is she? But, that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. Right, look, I'll leave it there. An hour and 20 minutes, I think, is good. There's no point me going on anymore. I'll be just here blabbing on, talking about absolute rubbish. And you don't want that. At least, you want me talking about stuff that I actually am interested in. But there's not more really I can say. But as I said, I just want to, and again, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, I'll obviously, I think we streamed last New Year's Eve, if I'm correct. We'll probably have a New Year's stream, and I will repeat this again. But again, I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart, myself, Cheryl, and Ted, for supporting us. Especially over this last year. It's been a tough one for the channel. We've had a couple of incidents where we've nearly lost the channel because of certain magazines out there, but we've come out the other side. But I just want to thank everybody for the continued support this year. The channel really did well this year, and 2022 we'll be still doing what we do, folks, and hopefully, you will stick with us again, as you have done for the last few years since I've been on YouTube. So I just want to thank you all again. I really appreciate all the super chats over the last year, and particularly since the channel has been monetized. I just want to thank every single person that has contributed financially to the channel. I really appreciate it. And to all you other guys in the chat that take part week in, week out, day in, day out when I'm on as well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate all the support that we've had. I don't take it for granted. And here's to another successful year in 2022 on the channel. And hopefully you guys will be with us all the way for this journey. And we hopefully head into a new era of Doctor Who together, where we've got something positive to say about the show, because that's all I've ever wanted to do on this channel, is come on here and say something positive. So let's hope I will have something positive to talk about when RTD finally takes over. New Year's stream was fun last time, even with some singing. Yeah. Well, it'll be mad because we'll have a few drinks as well, and the shackles will be off. So, yeah, we always have fun over the Christmas anyway, don't we? There's a couple of drinks do be had and stuff like that, and we do be a little bit looser, less rigid. As I say, well, I'm never really rigid anyway, but, my tongue, even though it doesn't need to be let off the leash, when I have a few more drinks on me, I really do let rip, don't I, sometimes? So, yeah. So again, thank you all, every single person, and that includes the people that have done artwork for me as well for the channel. People that have, like Lee, for instance, that have done me intros and all. I really appreciate it all. It's been an absolutely brilliant journey to be on and hopefully we can continue it into 2022 and beyond with you guys behind me and keeping the channel going. So thank you. I'm going to leave it there before I get any more soppy. And Chris just says, sorry, Noel, you can't get rid of this bad penny. Well, good to hear, good to hear. I'm glad you are all still here with me anyway. I appreciate it, as I said. And with that, I'm going to leave it there. This has been Contact. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have enjoyed the new format. I've tried to kind of, as they say, streamline it. So I think that's the way to go in the future. You know, me talking about the articles that we're going to be talking about, but not reading them all, because you don't need to read every single paragraph, but you can get a gist of what we're talking about. And then the articles will be put in the link description. So while I'm blabbing on the channel, you guys can go and choose the article and read the article that you want to talk about, and then you can come on, and that's how we'll do it from now on. So thank you. Enjoy your weekend. We will see you tomorrow for Classic Who Zone. I'm actually trying to remember what the story is. I'm pretty sure someone will in the chat will tell me what the next story is. But we're back for some new Who as well. So we've done a town called Mercy. I think it's the Power of Three next, which is not everybody's favorite. It's a Chris Chibnall story, but there you go. Has to be done. Has to be done. So we'll see you over the weekend for the watch-alongs. Have a good one. I don't know if it's the Aztecs. I don't think it is the Aztecs. No. We did the what was it? Planet of Giants. So it's the one after Planet of Giants. The Planet of Giants. Hold on. Hold on. I want to get this Giants. Is it Dalek Invasion next? Oh, well then, that's, I'm actually happy about that one, actually, if it's Dalek Invasion next. Well, but is it the next story? Hold on now, because these are all confusing me. No, if the Planet of Giants, yeah, it is. It's the Dalek Invasion of Earth. Right, so we will be doing so it's 6 episodes. So we'll be doing the first 3 episodes tomorrow and the next 3 episodes the week after. So we split it into 2 parts, especially if it's over 4 episodes, it gets split. So the Dalek Invasion. So look forward to that. So the first part will be next of this week, and then next week, then we do part 2. Right, there you go. We have it sorted. So I'll see you for Dalek Invasion tomorrow. Have a good one, folks. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. As I said, look after yourselves. Enjoy your Christmas if I don't see some of you. For the rest of you, I will see you over this Christmas period. Have a good one. Stay safe, look after yourselves. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and if you haven't subscribed, please, folks, please do. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my streams or videos. Good night, folks. Have a good one. There shall be